My name is Wayne Jacobs. I'm currently an assistant special agent in charge with the FBI. I was born in the Bronx, New York, but I grew up in South Brunswick, New Jersey. Currently, I'm entering my 17th year with the FBI. What inspired me to become an FBI agent was an early fascination with law enforcement. From when I was a small child, I looked to state police and federal agencies as my heroes. And I saw in their work a commitment to service, a commitment to their fellow employees. And it was that idea that I could make a difference by serving local communities, state that I worked in, and the country by becoming an FBI agent. If I were not an FBI agent, I would be working somewhere in finance. I studied both finance as an undergraduate and as a graduate student as well. For me, it was something that I really enjoyed and also positioned me to be that much more competitive when I decided to become an FBI agent. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I would encourage all children to consider as they move forward in selecting their careers, is that in order to become an FBI agent, you need a certain amount of work experience. What's important for them until they get to this place where they can apply to be an FBI agent is that they should find something that they too are passionate about and that will enjoy until they can apply to become an FBI agent. When I decided I wanted to be an agent, one of the first things that I did was to find out whatever information I could about what it was to become, or what did it take to become an FBI agent. At that time, this was before the internet, so any book or any resource that I could find or anyone that I could talk to who knew anything about the FBI was someone or something that I availed myself of. And from that point forward, it was just me setting intermediate goals that would help me in becoming that much more competitive for when I ultimately made the decision to apply to become an FBI agent. The most rewarding part of my job has actually changed in my time in the organization. I've spent 17 years as an FBI agent, 11 years as a case agent. My most rewarding time was spent putting cases together and providing closure to victim families. As I moved up in the organization to become a leader, the most enjoyable and rewarding thing that I have, or things that I have been a part of, are developing and growing my fellow employees. I think what I've learned about myself personally is that family is the most important thing to me. This job as an FBI agent has been a dream of mine, and I think earlier on in my career I put a lot into that and not fully appreciating your family and friends. The one thing I've learned professionally is that on top of doing a job that is incredibly rewarding, putting cases together and serving the American people, that I really enjoy spending time with my fellow employees and developing them individually as they move forward in their careers. I think the biggest myth about being an FBI agent is that we always have all the answers. We do not. We work hard to find what the answers are to the challenges that we face. And I also think one of the biggest myths about the organization is that we do things by ourselves. There are very few, if any, matters that we work as an independent organization. We are overly reliant on our partners to do our job at the highest level. I would say the biggest misconception about being a black FBI agent is that it's not possible. So many of the employees who I meet who are African American tell me that they didn't believe that, that the day had come where they had been successful in being hired as an employee of the FBI or a black FBI agent. But clearly, myself, along with many others in the organization, are a prime example that yes, this is possible, and it is something that if you're interested in, that you should set as a goal for yourself and achieve. If I had one location to work as an FBI agent, it would be Los Angeles. I say that because I spent 2 years of my career there, and in my 17-year career just found the city, the culture, and the work to be really exciting and enjoyable from both a professional level and a personal level as well. I would say the one thing that I would like young black children to know if they're interested in becoming an FBI agent is that this is possible, that they need to put the work into making sure that they acquire all the information that they need. The priorities of the organization in terms of hiring change from year to year at times, and so you need to make sure that you're in a position where you're acquiring the skills that are going to make you competitive to be an FBI agent. Once you set your mind to those things, stick with those goals, follow through. The one thing that I would say, amongst perhaps many, that I would say that they primarily the one thing, is making lifestyle choices that will preclude them from becoming an FBI agent. The FBI has a strict drug policy, which states that you cannot use any drugs within the last 3 years. Oftentimes, as a young adult, people experiment with narcotics or other illicit substances and put themselves in a position where they eliminate themselves from being considered to be an FBI agent. Work-life balance is incredibly important to me. I always recognize at times that it hasn't been the way that I would have liked in terms of always trying to put my family first. The job is very demanding, but I know that at my core, my family is what sustains me, and without them, this job would not be as rewarding or as purposeful for me in my endeavors. So I think the most important thing that I can do is always, even with the competing interests of the job, when duty calls, is to always remember and try and find time for my family wherever possible. In the limited spare time that I have, I can be found reading, usually. It's one of the things that I enjoy most. It always keeps me informed on any number of given topics, which is important as an FBI agent, that you are educated about a broad variety of subjects, that you can engage people from all different backgrounds. Right now I'm currently reading The Fifth Domain by Richard Clarke. It's a book about cybersecurity and the challenges that are associated with it. The one quote that I would use for both agents during this time and the American public is the FBI's mission statement, which is to protect the American people and to uphold the Constitution. As an agent, if all agents can remember that as their duty, as their mission, and exclude everything else that's going on, we as an organization will be fine. If the public also understands that at our core, that's what our mission is, and that's the sole thing that we're focused on, then they too should maintain confidence in the organization that that's exactly what we intend to do. I would just like to encourage African American children to strongly consider a career here in the FBI or in general in law enforcement. It is no secret that law enforcement does suffer from a lack of diversity. We here at the FBI have included diversity as one of our core principles. We understand the importance of it and what it means for us to be successful as an organization as we move forward into the future.